Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today is my 100,000 subscriber video, and like I said, we're going to be doing a face reveal, or I guess I already did it. This is my face. I've had it for 25 years now, I guess. Now you get to see how animated my hands are when I'm talking. Now first and foremost here, I want to say thank you once again for 100,000 subscribers. When I originally made the channel, I didn't think I would get anywhere close to that amount, so it's still kind of surreal that I've made it, and I don't really know what my next goal is gonna be. 200,000 maybe, 500,000 not likely. I don't know if there's any other RuneScape YouTuber with 500,000 subscribers, but you know, I'm just happy I made it to 100,000. I was kind of hoping to have my 100,000 YouTube plaque when I made this video, but it seems like it's gonna be a while. Partly because of world events and partly because YouTube is very slow. So anyway, today I mainly wanted to do a Q&A, but I also wanted to quickly show you my house, as well as, well, what my audio equipment is, my PC specs, stuff like that. I hope you guys find it interesting, and well, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're recording on a Samsung Galaxy S7, so it's not a very new phone, but you know what, I've never done a video like this before, so I didn't think it was worth buying a camera just for this. So this is now the 4th place I've lived in since moving out from home. I moved out when I was 18, and this is by far my favorite place. It's a great place to hang out during the pandemic because, you know, it's on the 3rd floor. Lots of natural light. Honestly, I couldn't imagine being stuck in a basement suite right now. It was my girlfriend's birthday recently, but obviously we couldn't go out and hang out with anybody, so she was stuck with me, and I just blew up some balloons. Haven't taken those down yet. It's got a really tiny kitchen, but I don't know, it's kind of cute. Little look-see out the window here. I usually hang out in here and drink coffee or tea. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, so it's actually pretty big, or way bigger than my last one. This is our kind of incomplete map wall. We're hoping to get a few more maps, but you know, it's kind of hard to find the map like that size. Anyway, let's carry on. So beyond that, there's of course a bathroom. You need one of those, and a bedroom, but they're not that interesting. So here is where I work. This is my office. Office in quotation marks. Well, it's kind of an office and storage room. We got a bunch of bikes here. We have these sound dampening panels, but I'm not convinced that they do anything at all, but you know what? I guess style points. We got a globe for style points. We got 2 plants here, which are now mine. Now these are replacement plants, because this guy right here literally committed suicide in my room. He got so fat that these little support beams just couldn't handle his weight anymore, and he fell over and literally spilt all over my floor. Can't really tell in the camera, but it definitely stained the carpet a bit, and well, now I have been reassigned these 2 plants, so hopefully they don't die. The printer is just because I had to print something once, and it kind of makes it look more like an office if anyone ever asked. And most importantly, of course, is the computer setup. We got the desk from Costco, and then because I didn't feel like sitting all the time, we got the standing desk action, which has been really great. I don't know if I can actually do this at the same time, but it's really helpful because, well, sitting all the time isn't really good for your back, although standing all the time also isn't good for your back either, so you kind of gotta rotate back and forth. Now obviously the most important tool in making videos is by far my computer, which I built myself about 6 months ago. It was a ton of fun. I just got it built on PC Part Picker. It cost me around $1,000 US for the entire setup, and we'll go over that in a minute. Surprisingly, almost equally as expensive was this mic setup. The microphone I use is an Electro Voice RE20, which is a very popular mic for broadcasting and podcasting, stuff like that. However, because it actually uses an XLR input, you can't plug this into your computer, unfortunately. So I have to run it through this here, which is the Focusrite, which is an audio interface. And because it's a dynamic microphone, which has to do with the cardioid pattern on it, it actually kind of needed a signal booster apparently to make it work well. So this is a preamp to help boost the audio signal, and it definitely was necessary, because without it, I'm very, very quiet. And oh, well, there are my Pikachu slippers. So that's pretty much it for my house. So now let's hop back onto my computer and we'll start the Q&A. And just because I forgot to mention it earlier, here are my computer specs just in case anyone is interested. We have the GTX 1060 with 32 gigabytes of RAM. We got the AMD Ryzen 2700 8-core processor, a 1TB SSD, and a 3TB internal storage, although it turns out I need way more storage because video files are quite big. I didn't really feel like it was necessary to get like a top-of-the-line gaming computer, so I kind of went for something mid-range. Because we all know RuneScape is not a very high-intensity game, you don't really need much to run it. Unless you're doing the Song of the Elves quest, in which case you need like top-of-the-line computer. Okay, so now for the Q&A. Now the video I made before I hit 100,000, I asked you guys for questions for this video, and I also made a community post. So that is where I'm sourcing the questions from. Okay, the first question is, how did you get into flipping? Do you have any background in statistics or economics? I believe the first time I was seriously into flipping was a video game, and that game is MapleStory. I used to buy and sell things at the free market, which is kind of similar to the pre-Grand Exchange RuneScape. Although it was possible to set up your own shop and put items in it, you had to stay logged in, and there wasn't really a global marketplace when I was doing it. Now after I moved out from home, I started doing some real life flipping, mainly video games, books, stuff like that, and reselling it on Amazon. Going into stores and finding good deals on things was just so much fun. The less fun part about that was listing everything, shipping everything, dealing with returns, stuff like that. But that was probably my first venture into some kind of entrepreneurship. Do real life economics interest you, and do you have any real life investments? Well, I definitely am interested in economics. I've never really tried anything like day trading or predicting stock changes or anything like that. From my understanding, most people fail at it, and I think the only capacity in which I would try it is just absolutely for fun and kind of a substitute for gambling. However, I do invest in a low-cost index fund, kind of similar to the S&P 500 in the States. So it's not really exciting, but it's a fundamental concept. It seems to be working, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. Roughly how long does a video take? Well, obviously that varies quite a bit. The editing time per video, probably in the realm of 3 to 5 hours, unless it's something abnormally long or short. Now that is not including playtime, but as I make a lot of informational videos, history videos, flipping videos, I really spend a lot of time editing, and that's one thing I'd like to change a bit. I usually can't do more than 3 or 4 hours of editing a day. It just gets kind of boring. So usually in the morning, I'll wake up and do editing and recording, stuff like that from 8 in the morning till noon. From noon onwards, I will usually just progress my account, play 4 or 5 hours, and that's kind of like a full day for me. When did you start playing RuneScape, and how were you introduced to the game? I think I started playing RuneScape right as RS2 was released, so sometime like 2003, 2004. A friend told me about it, but I have this weird, distinct memory that I thought it was a surfing game for some reason. I don't know why, but after playing it for a couple hours, I was hooked. There was a giant community of RuneScape players that always go to the library, because at that time, a lot of people didn't have computers at their home. So everyone would congregate at the library, where you could only actually be logged in for 30 minutes at a time because it would log you out. However, as your time ran out and the computer was logging off, the internet icon would appear for 1 more second, and if you double click that quickly enough, it would open up Internet Explorer as the computer was locked. If somebody asked, you tell them you'd just be another half an hour, but you wouldn't. If you weren't making RuneScape videos, what would you see yourself doing with your life? Well, I would either probably be doing web design or graphic design, or maybe still scavenging through dumpsters and thrift stores for those sick margins to sell on Amazon, I don't know. If you had to fight off coyotes, how many do you think you could handle at once? 5 or 6? Actually, I don't really know what coyotes look like. Yeah, no, actually just 1. How did you get started on YouTube, and what was your initial boost for growth? Now, when I first started thinking of a YouTube channel, I was actually in Southeast Asia, and I met a lot of people who were digital nomads, and that's not really something I wanted to do exactly, but it kind of got me thinking of, well, the benefits of having a second job. At that time, I thought it would be passive income. That didn't turn out to be true exactly. And when I got back in 2016, I still didn't know exactly what type of YouTube channel I wanted to make, but at that time, I was still flipping real life things a lot, and I just started getting back into playing RuneScape. Now, I did a bunch of research on making YouTube channels, and one thing that was heavily recommended by a few people was to pick a very specific niche when you're trying to grow on YouTube. So that is why I originally fused those two ideas. And for the next year almost, I pretty much only made flipping videos. Now, what was your initial boost for growth? Well, I've had a few minor ones. I didn't really have a viral video per se, but the original type of video that started picking up traction for me were the 1 hour flipping challenges. After that, it was money making videos for quite a while, but I've transitioned out of that a bit. And then later on, my 1GB to Twist a Bow series was pretty popular. After making RuneScape into a job, do you still play it for just pure enjoyment, even when you're not producing clips for content? Well, I definitely still enjoy playing the game, and there's so much I still haven't explored impressively after having played it for so long. So I have a lot of content yet to explore, but no, I don't really just play it and not record that much, because clips take a long time to get, as any RuneScape YouTuber will say, and there's just not enough time to play it just for fun without thinking of recording anything and as a job, so no, I don't do that. Have you ever considered streaming full time? Streaming is something that I really like the idea of, but for some reason, whenever I finish a stream, I'm just stressed out. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe I just don't have enough practice with it, but it's just very draining for me. Not in a terrible way or anything. It's just I'm really tired after. I don't really have much energy to work on my YouTube channels. So it sounds great on paper. Like, well, I might as well just be streaming my progress because that's just free exposure, free money, I guess. But that is kind of why I haven't done it too much. It is really something I want to get into because I really don't like having all my eggs in this YouTube basket here. I would like to diversify. So that might be a goal of 2020. What other games do you play, and do you have any plans on uploading them to the same channel or a different channel? Well, beyond RuneScape, probably my next most played game is League of Legends. Played 3,000, 4,000 games of that. Recently been playing lots of Rocket League, a bit of Apex Legends, and even this kind of pixel shooter called Zombie Estate 2. I don't have any plans on uploading any non-RuneScape content to this YouTube channel. I do have a loose plan of making a second channel that would, I wouldn't really call it a finance channel, but I kind of wanted to take some concepts from this channel and try to put it into practice in real life. For example, I think it'd be really fun to do a $0 to $10,000 challenge in real life, just doing odd jobs, online surveys. I know that's shitty, I would never do that really, but just kind of making similar videos to what I do in RuneScape, but applying them to real life. I think that would be kind of interesting. Let me know what you guys think about that. And finally here, how do you find time to balance life and YouTube? Well, it has gotten a lot easier since I started doing it full time. When I was working, even part-time at Costco, that's where I used to work. Thank God I don't work there now. That would be an absolute shit show to work there now. But yeah, back when I was working a part-time job and doing YouTube, I had very little time to really see anybody. So nowadays it's much easier. I generally only work about 8 or 9 hours a day, and my girlfriend works full-time too, so I mean, it's not that hard to balance in my opinion. The main struggle, of course, is that you never stop working exactly. I'm always thinking about video ideas. I'm always kind of doing something on the side, even when we're hanging out. So I know it can kind of be draining for her, and I just can't ever turn my brain off. It's something I'm trying to work on, but it's really hard. But overall, I think I'm balancing it in a fairly healthy way, although there's always room for improvement. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks once again for supporting me for so long. It really means a lot. And I will see you on Monday with a new video. All right, guys, see you next time.